board meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the minutes for September 18th, regular board meeting.
There's no changes, I would make the motion.
And second? I'll second it, Mayor. All in favor? Aye. Approval of vouchers.
Yes, the vouchers have been audited, and the amounts are as follows. The general fund, $56,005.48. The water fund, $29,561.61. The sewer fund, $90,201.47. And the capital fund, $755,117.69. I make a motion that these bills as audited be paid.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Tim's not here, but he had to run home for a minute, but he'll be back. This one. Okay, unfinished business at 5 Streets construction project. Any comments on that before we go into the change order? Or?
You want to just give an update, as much as I know?
You and I know about the same
Yep.
thing, but
They have completed the top course on Stowe Street. They've completed top course on Water Street. I believe next week they will be doing top on East State Street and binder on Park Ave. They've got a new curb company coming in to start curbing tomorrow if the weather is okay, if not Friday. I think that's about it.
okay, did everybody get a copy of the change order number 5? Yep. Do you have any questions on that? The actual total on that's down there on the very bottom where it says change order number 5 says. As you can see, quite a chunk of that's sidewalks and driveways that we have to restore out. Oh, these guys are here, they can.
All right.
Are we talking about the change order?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you going over the breakdown of it, Joe? Okay. So do we have a copy of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you want to give us an update on 5th Street first?
Yeah.
I gave a little
We
vague
gave
one.
Paul gave a rough one, but
So they just finished topping the Stowe Street and Water Street. They're all paved now. Top course. They're still going to need to come in and pave East State Street as well, and Oliver Park. But Oliver Park will not receive top course this year. All the utilities are in on Water Street. All the utilities are in on Park, between Water and Trinity Ave. Highland is currently working on the offline sanitary and storm areas outside of the roadways. And then the pump station building is just about complete. They have the structure erected, they're just kind of doing finishing touches on it. So I'd say for the most part, the main, places to look at are kind of the quantity swaps we were doing, where we subtracted out a lot of quantities that we noticed we were probably not gonna meet by the end of the project. And we added on quantities that, we needed more of going forward, which is sidewalk, lawn restoration, and driveway restoration. And the sidewalk numbers beefed up so high mainly because of NICEAG having to relocate their gas mains. And yeah, if you guys have any questions on the change order, let me know. That's kind of just the main.
Talk about contingency.
Yeah, the contingency. So after this change order, we would have approximately $700,000 of contingency left over for the remainder of this project.
Remind me how much we had in contingency to start with?
We had about $1.4 million.
Thank you.
A part of that was, the rest of the East State wasn't even in the original plans, and we added that. That's where most of that,
Yeah, that was about $200,000 worth of that contingency we used to redo more of East State Street.
Well, we kind of feel going ahead that it's kind of cut and dry now. There shouldn't be any big surprises, so hopefully we can keep that contingency at that range.
Correct. Yeah.
Good. Thanks.
And then to go along with this change order, we also have a couple of non-monetary things. EFC wanted us to update the wage rate schedules from the original bid, just to update them to more recent ones. And so that's why Joe's going to be signing 3 different change orders for the 3 contractors. However, the 2 for the electrical and plumbing contract will be non-monetary ones. So.
but even this change order here, it's still gotta go before EFC for their approval,
Correct. Yep.
so.
Correct. Is there any more questions on that?
If everybody's okay with it, I guess we just need a motion so they can submit it to EFC.
I'll make that motion.
Also here?
All in favor?
Aye.
That's right.
Whenever you want to sign these, you got to sign them with the application.
Anything on, wastewater treatment plant?
No update there.
I did have a message from Steve Hunt to call him, and I called him back and he was in a meeting, so I'm hoping to be able to reach him tomorrow. He might have some information on the funding that we were looking for. Lots of water agreements.
You see in your packet, I was contacted by Watson's attorney, Ray Meyer, a couple of weeks ago, wanting to discuss the water agreements that you folks have already discussed a couple of months ago. He was contacted by the town board. They're taking the position that the exemption that was granted in that 2001 stipulation that settled the tax cert challenge, they're taking the position that the value of that exemption should be tied to your water agreements, and that they want the village to provide O&M on their maintenance and repair on their water lines up to the value of that exemption. So, and, Ray suggested, I didn't tell him that when I talked to him that you'd already discussed this thoroughly, but he suggested, a conference call between Joe and whoever's gonna step into the shoes as a supervisor and the 2 of us. But, I don't know if you folks wanna have any more discussion about it, or just have me tell him that,
Here's a discussion I want to say. I'm not much of a card player, but I know when you have a royal flush you call a bluff. When Watson finds water, which they eventually probably will, they will be able to call us. We need to get firm. I realize, Joe, that we're getting X amount of dollars, okay? I think we need to draw up an agreement that says, listen, enough is enough. Now they don't really want to give us an exemption. They want the difference in in-kind service.
Right.
My remark is, if they don't want to negotiate, let's give them 30 days, because there's going to be a time when we're going to be taxed in full, unless we get an agreement in place that says they're not going to tax us. We've got the upper hand right now. We're not going to have. If we're worried about 30,000 now, that's fine. But when you end up paying 30,000 more a year for taxes for the next umpteen years, you're going to lose out. And we have the upper hand. We've played with these people long enough. I'm just warning you guys, I dealt with them back in 2000. Nothing has changed, and nothing's going to change. And we can sit here and play tiptoe through the tulips, and we're going to take it right where it hurts.
Dan? Here is what we pay it. Now, that would double. It's not gonna be 30,000, it'll be less.
20, whatever.
It's not worth it to me to have our guys have to do their work for them. There are times when it's probably gonna cost us in manpower, equipment, et cetera, benefits, insurance, and all those things. That additional 11,000, or the whole 22,000. Well, actually, we'll only save us 11,000. They're trying to hold a gun to our heads, and I say, enough is let them take care of their own pipes, let them take care of their own water system, and stop telling us you're gonna do this if we do that. You either wanna give us a break on the taxes or you don't. If you don't, that's fine, that's up to you. It's also up to us whether we let you use our guys to do your work, and I say no.
Or drink our water.
I wanna sell them the water. I don't want them to use our guys.
No, I mean, I would say definitely sell them the water if they, because.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not the residents, they're the ones that need the water, I mean, no reason to penalize them.
Well, they're the ones that were, because they were uneducated, screamed that when they didn't have the pressure, that it was the village's fault. And it's time that we make the residents stand up to their own town too.
Well, the average guy doesn't know what's causing the problem. The average guy wouldn't have an idea, Dan.
They can find out real fast.
Well, irregardless, sell them the water, just don't let us.
Well, my message to Ray will be that the exemption and the water contract are totally unrelated. They have been all along.
Yes.
The exemption was a result of a stipulation on a tax cert matter. And if it goes away, it goes away. But under the agreement, we'll provide you the water, but no in-kind services for O&M, so.
Correct.
And that's what it states back in the old agreement in
Right.
section 11.
So the old agreement that's been in place that we're still operating under is totally not tied to the stipulation and the exemption.
Right.
So they want a time together now, and I'll just give them the message that, no, if the exemption goes away, so be it.
So where do we stand with the contract?
Well, we're still operating under the old contract, and, if they want, it's up to you. I mean, if they don't want to sign a new contract, or you're either operating under the old contract, or you don't sell them the water.
We still give them $3,500 a year in-kind service, right?
But that's for billing, limited to billing. It's not,
Which
not maintenance
we
on the
didn't
water.
file.
Do we want to continue to do their billing?
Well, we have to bill them if we wanna get paid.
Yeah.
In other words, they won't do it.
Well, if we want
They
it
don't
right-
do their own
They
reading,
do their,
If we want it right, we're gonna have to do it.
so that we know that it's correct. Is that-
we bill Watson, they bill their people.
Okay.
We read their meters also, plus.
All right, so we're not helping them bill their customers. Oh, okay, good.
I have a reading.
Okay. Got the message, and I'll relay that to the attorney.
discussion on that? No? Do you have anything on the administrative order? I think we sent out the letter and we sent them out. I think we're all set on that.
Yep, now we had the last order update and it's gone, we're good.
Numbers have dropped
Yeah.
significantly, I
Yeah.
believe. We're good on that.
Yeah.
Pre-treatment, coagulation information, that's, we're done with that.
Yeah, pilot's over. I did finally get all the final results back from Mark Kester, and then plus Seth and Joe's there sent me some of the internal tests that the village did on their own as well, so gotta kind of look at all that and put it together, basically make a recommendation to DOH that we're not gonna do that, especially considering we have lower levels before and after, do that. That pre-treatment pilot's only one prong of a multi-prong approach, so be alright without it.
Groundwater development project.
Yeah, we ended up not getting any bids on that one single well development. I wasn't able to make the last municipal board meeting, but I understand we'll return to that in the spring and see if maybe we can do some tree clearing separately or something to entice that. A well driller that kind of want to drill it on. Plus it'll be better timing in the spring, so I think that's where we're
Well,
at.
give us a chance to harvest some of the lumber that's up there too.
Sure.
We gotta widen the road and salvage some of that, so.
Yep.
Water supply investigation, basically, changes were made, they were sent back to the, parties. We talked with them here a week ago, and they're still reviewing them, but their jobs have kept them from getting together, so. I said they'd be in touch. If I don't hear something by the end of this week, I'll contact them first thing we do. They called and we put together, they were questioning the percentage on gallons, and so we worked that out for them,
Right.
and they were okay with it, so.
Nice.
We're still waiting basically to hear back from them.
Okay.
Outdoor street lighting conversion, we sent the agreements to Joe, he looked them over, said they were okay. New York Power Authority is asking for us to have a couple of things changed in the agreement, and so that's a ongoing process at the moment.
Sounds like it's the same revisions they're recommending to all the
To all.
municipalities, so. If National Grid's willing to accept them, I guess. we'll be good to go.
Temporary permits, anything on that?
No, I mean, apparently they don't have a full board this month. They're full in November, so I'm just gonna go ahead and talk to the planning department and about an intermunicipal agreement to waive some of the requirements and get the ball rolling before, because I don't know if I'm ever gonna get to it. I mean, it's our law, you know what I'm saying, so just being courteous to try to explain it to them, but, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and
Make
start.
the changes.
Yeah, start making some, and of course we'll all have to review it anyway.
Yeah.
Because it looks like it's gonna be at least December.
Property maintenance enforcement.
I spoke to the county attorney, told her what we were looking for. She said she had to talk to codes and see if they were willing, and I haven't heard back from her yet, so I'll follow up with her again. So she probably hasn't talked to
I don't
codes.
think she did. I don't think she did.
Okay.
Didn't talk to me.
Okay, it brings us down to the taxi cab local law amendment, resolution 2019 dash. Any more thoughts on, anybody wants to do with that? I know there was some talk about Uber and a couple of them other ones, and Personally, I don't see how we can regulate any of that.
I agree. Man, I've got something to bring up under what I consider unfinished business. We've had a concern raised about, at least from one resident, and maybe more, about maintenance of driveways. And what we may or may not be responsible for what's gone wrong. And Tim and I went,
Well, okay, let's, before we move, what do we wanna, we got this taxi cab law here we gotta deal with.
oh, I thought you were done, I'm sorry. I don't want to do anything with that.
And you guys wanna just not pass it, or pass it as is? Or- I know I gave Joe some, I think 3 or 4 changes on it there last time.
I think it's gonna be very hard to enforce.
I agree. You can't force it, the law is useless.
It's worse than useless, it creates all kinds of problems, because now you got a law in the books that people are gonna accuse you of certain things. AKA, the sign law. That we spend a lot of time on.
So in other words, you wanna leave the law that's on the books right now as is and not change it, right?
We need to strike the law that's on the books too. There's state laws that they have to follow. We don't have to reinvent the wheel here locally.
As far as insurance and.
Insurance and what they're required to do, and
They have to be licensed by the state, don't
that's
they?
correct.
Yeah.
And with everything that's been happening with limos and like that, as the state relapses on other laws that Phil and I have talked about today, this is one that they're not gonna relapse on because of the public pressure they're getting. So I'd like to go even one step further and strike the law that's on the books and just let the state law supersede us anyways. That's up to the board. I certainly don't wanna pass the new law. Have you ever had an issue where you've had to enforce the old law, Andy?
Nope.
No.
I would agree with you on that, strike that one as well, we've never had any issue with that. If it becomes an issue down the road, you always address it then,
So
but we've
we
never
need
had
to
an issue with
make
that.
We will need to do a local law to rescind that local law, which I can get ready for next month.
Well, we haven't passed it yet, so we have.
No, but I mean, there's one on the books already, if we're gonna rescind that, we'll need a local law to rescind that. You're just not
But
gonna
don't
act,
we,
you're just not gonna act on this
the
one.
one that's already on the books, we're gonna leave it?
Well,
Just not act on this one?
there was some,
That's better than nothing, what's on the books right now.
I'm gonna deflect that to Chief Rogie, and ask him what he thinks.
We've never had an issue with it. I don't remember anything coming up on taxi cab,
There's only been one person within the last year that was looking, and then they decided
and then
not
they
to.
stopped, I think midstream, didn't they, or did they go through with that, and they stopped? That's the only time I ever remember a
We
taxi cab
haven't had
issue.
any in years.
Didn't think so. And I, to be honest with you, I can't even tell you what that old one says right at the moment without looking
pretty,
it up.
it's pretty short.
At the moment, I can't see rescinding the one that's already on the books. I can see if they wanna pass this one, but,
It's up to the
I
board.
mean, if somebody comes in, we got nothing if we rescind that one. We have little teeth right now.
I'm not familiar with the old one, so.
There's not much to it, it's
No.
small,
It's pretty short,
for sure. But I just mean,
but you have to come in and get a license or.
I could see if you don't wanna pass this one, but I think I'd leave the other one on.
If they have to come in and get a license, you're okay until, because they're not going to. And then when you have a second one come in, you're gonna have the issue over that.
But if you take that off the books, then anybody that wants to say we're gonna drive a taxi can, and they don't have to come in here and get any kind of license, because there's nothing on the book.
They're still required by the state. Sometimes I think that we can make
Well, the
things,
state only requires their particular driver's license, not.
they have to have a liberty license. It's fine. you wanna leave it on the books, that's fine.
We need a motion on that, right, Joe?
On the local law that you held the public hearing on? You're not gonna,
So what's, yeah, if we rescind the,
well, if you're gonna rescind what's on the books, we would need to draft a local law to do that. If you're just gonna leave it alone, and just not act on the new one,
you don't have to do anything.
you don't have to do anything.
So what's the board want to do?
I would say take this off the agenda, the new one, and let's take a look at the current law and see what we come up with next
Leave
month.
that one over. Okay.
I'll take a look at what it says and give you a brief on it next month.
We move on.
Smarter every time he's on TV.
It's not much. Under unfinished business, Mayor?
Okay, Dan, you said you had something?
Yeah, we dealt with some concerns, Mr. Denise and us, and I know that some board members have heard from at least one, if not more, that are concerned about the restructure or the fixing of their property by the village. I don't pretend to know anything about paving. I've gone and tried to listen to the people, and Tim went too. And I think Tim grasped it better by far than I did because of code enforcement, or because of code rules and like that. But him and I have discussed it, and I'm not gonna take any work, I'm not gonna try and speak for him, but go ahead, Tim, if you want.
Well, I don't think the code thing has anything to do with it. I mean, I looked at it like I had a portion of my driveway done by a different contractor, of course, but they used a paving machine, and it's a whole lot different. I don't know paving either, but after talking with Paul, I mean, if you're doing it by hand and using a paving machine, it's two different things. And I actually went back and looked at it after the finished product. To me, the radius looks fine, you know, once they planted the grass up next to it and all that. So I don't think there's as big an issue as what was made myself, after I went back and looked at it. My driveway's got a slanted edge like this where they did the new part of it, but they, you know what I mean, it was done by a paver machine, and it's just totally different. It's not apples to apples, you know what I mean?
In fairness to the constituent that has raised the issue, I think that we owe them an answer as to what we're going to do, what we're not going to do. My thought is Mr. Ganes is our superintendent, and my feeling is I'm going to rely on his expertise to take his advice. Personally, as a board member, as one board member, that's what I would say.
I did look at several other ones too. I took the, you know, I went up Stowe Street, and basically, this is my opinion, that the work is pretty much the same everywhere. There might be a flaw here and there, but it's handwork. And like I said, I'm not a paving expert either, and again, relying on Paul, like Dan said, I think we gotta look at it like, we can't be changing everybody's driveway, that's for sure.
All right, the issue is when you're doing a driveway repair, the sections that we're doing, there's no way you can get a paver in there. And you need a certain amount of length to use a paver to actually make it come out good. That's why all these companies, when they cut back into people's driveway, they do handwork. And obviously it's not, like you said, it's not gonna look as good as a paving company coming in and paving the whole driveway. And that was kind of my issue. I just tried to explain that to everybody that's asked the question, and you know, they understand, so.
I said to Dan too, you know, you have an inspector, Camel has inspectors there, and they're sort of responsible for the same thing, right? I mean, aren't they responsible to address issues like that also?
Yeah, I mean, you know, work together as a team to, you know, get guys out there to oversee what's going on.
I realize they probably can't be at every
Right,
place
and
at
that's
every
the
time,
thing,
but
it's a huge project, and got a couple guys out there, everybody does the best they can, so, you know, saying they're gonna catch every last little tiny thing, but, yeah.
Like I said, you go around to you know, being with the DOT for 26 years doing this, you go around to any job that we've done that has short sections like that, it's always done handwork, and they do the best they can, you know.
Is that it, Mark?
That's it. So, is this an issue that, I think we owe the constituent an answer to what we are going to do or not going to do. So, I guess my remark is, or my thought is, do we basically stand with what Mr. Dinesh told them and what we conferred here, or what are we gonna do? Because I think officially we need that to give that person an answer.
Do you think we should let them answer?
I think we need to give them the answer. And
Yeah, I
maybe,
agree, the answer, I mean, we're changing anything down there.
well, I think that they're assuming that we were gonna discuss it again. And, if we wanna just say that we stand firm on the original decision, that's fine. But I think there has to be re-entry. Am I wrong, Tim, or do you think they were looking for an answer?
Yeah, that was when we met down there that time, that was my opinion. My opinion of the whole thing is the work is consistent with the rest of the, you know, driveway extensions or whatever you wanna call it, throughout the village. And I did walk around and look at quite a few other ones. But I agree with Dan, I think he was looking for an answer from the board, I believe. That's kind of the way we left it, right, Dan? That afternoon.
Yes, if I recall, I didn't specifically take notes. I believe that what you said was consistent with the other work is a fair statement.
I mean, I can give him an answer myself, I don't have a problem doing that.
I don't have a problem going with you.
And basically, that'll just be what I'm gonna say, is, you know, we've determined that it's consistent with the rest of the approaches that have been repaired.
Let me know. I'll go with you, Tim.
Okay.
Yeah. Craft surcharges, new business. Does anybody have any other old business before we move on? Any new business, craft surcharges. 0 for the month of August. Budget amendment, need a motion to, you have a transfer on this, is that it?
It's a budget transfer,
This, on this,
just changing from accounts.
yeah, do we need a motion just?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the budget amendment, moving unclassified revenue to police operation and maintenance. Is that correct, Dan? That's what you wanted? Make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye. I'm giving you guys more money.
Oh, that's great.
Lowville Housing Authority, sweeping, sanding, and plowing services agreement. This is for November 1st, 2019 to October 31st, 2020. And there was a 5% increase in the contract for this coming year.
I'll make the motion to accept. Or to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
fire contracts, I guess we need a motion to authorize me to sign the fire contracts.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, correspondence. Sherry Bora from the Lowville Lions, so we'll give you a copy of that. Asking.
I would, I don't know if we have to do anything officially other than make a motion that, we make that, name that the Lowville Lions, Park. I think it would be great for publicity for them, and I think that the Lions did a lot of work, and I would be honored to make the motion to name that Lowville Veterans Memorial Park.
I'll second it.
Okay. I'm thankful for everything that the Lions did on that before we vote, but just so you realize, the village had quite a lot of money invested in that through the HUD and everything. I mean, we own the property and everything. I guess my thought on it was, I don't have a problem with them putting a plaque in there, you know, saying what they did, but I don't know if we really, but it's up to you guys.
How about this, Joe? How about instead of that, how about if I make the motion that we name it the Lowville Lions Village of Lowville with both of us? Because yes, we put a lot of money into it, and we'd be co-stakeholders as far as the naming of the park.
Plus, we're the ones that have to maintain it.
Yeah. But they're a service organization, and my feeling is that may help them to help our community in other endeavors that they have to partake in all the time. The Lowville Lions Club right now is a very strong organization, and I hope it stays strong. I'm a former member myself and a former past president, and I can tell you that the current Lowville Lions Club puts in as much or more effort than anybody I've ever seen in the history that I've been around with the Lowville Lions Club. But I'm just one person. But I would have a problem with it being co-named Lowville Lions, Lowville Village.
Village of Lowville Lions Park.
There you go.
That's all they're requesting, is to call it the Lowville Lions Park.
Village of Lowville Lions Park.
Village.
Village of Lowville Lions Park.
Yeah.
I rescind my motion and make it what Tim has just suggested, or Tim, if you want to make that motion.
I'll make a motion that we request that it's called the Village of Lowville Lions Park.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Can I say something first?
Yep.
There was a time we had a short street in this village that had no name. And we asked for people to give us ideas of what that street should be named. I wonder if we could maybe do the same thing with our park. And if most people want to call it the Lowville Lions Park, then I could easily live with that. Maybe we could ask the community to make suggestions to name that particular park. I'm a little reluctant. I know what they've done for us, and there's no doubt about it. I'm just a little reluctant to call it just one outfit's park. That's my thought before we vote.
I would hate to see that park ended up being named for somebody that really didn't have any stake in it, other than the fact that it had a pretty rhyme.
Well, we have to approve the name.
Don't we still have the final approval?
This board would have the final approval.
I don't think a name's that, but I'm not gonna lose any sleep over the name of it. If they're asking for it, what Tim suggested, I would go along with.
We got a motion second, we can vote.
Well, we're still gonna go back to them, right?
Yeah.
I'll move the vote. And if it stands, and if it doesn't, fine. But it's a motion and a second on the table, so I move the vote.
Do you want to do it, Charlie? Put it out there to the general public?
We got a motion and a second.
Yeah, I think that's the vote, if they vote it down, then we can do something else.
Do you know what the one over at the Veterans Memorial Park says right offhand?
No, I
I
don't.
mean,
Do you know what it says in it?
No, I do not. I know it's the town and the village both.
Oh, that, right.
Yes. Or in
and the town's on one side, over there where the tennis courts and then So which way do we wanna go? Do you wanna go with 10, or do we want, put it out there to the general public and let them?
We've got to vote, I wanna move the vote.
So what's that?
Well, there's a motion on the table, we need to act on that first before you,
Yeah.
there's a motion on the table you have to act on before you can make another decision.
So the motion that we have is the Village of Lowville Lions Park.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That we're gonna go back to them and say that we want that. I mean, who else has interest in this park?
No, we're,
There you go.
It's done before me, so.
yeah, no, it's basically the village got the money to buy the land, did all the infrastructure underneath, and they started out, they were gonna raise money for the clock, which they did, and then they just added a few other things. No, they were very beneficial, otherwise probably would have been another couple of years getting that park done without their help.
Quite honestly, I'm a little appalled that we're having the discussion we're having right now. I really believe that what Tim has brought up by naming it for both is, the Lava Lions Club, I don't know the exact amount of money they got for us, but they got a lot of money and a lot of manpower over there too.
I think they put roughly 80,000, 75 to 80,000 somewhere.
So we're gonna ask the public to name the park.
Because the clock alone was almost 55,000.
I wanna vote.
Okay, got a motion on the table. All in favor?
Aye.
Tim's?
Aye.
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 Aye. Kevin?
Nay. That's very official.
So now it will be, after we talk with the Lions, I don't know why we would, I mean, that motion is second, that's the way it should be. I don't even know if we need to go back and talk to them as far as that goes. Correct, Attorney Russell?
Well, it's
Other than if we wanna do it for common courtesy.
it's your park, yeah. You name it what you want to.
Okay, we already handled the 5 streets change order. Lewis County Emergency Management, Lewis County Hazmat Mitigation Plan. Basically, earlier this year, Paul and I worked on that. We worked on it with the county's people that they've hired. And ours has been sent in. And this coming Monday, there's going to be a meeting at the Glenfield Fire Hall for all interested parties to go over things. I know I'm planning on going, and anybody else here that's interested, be there. Okay, New York State PFC 5 street sewer document review, and also also 5 Streets summary and recommendations from their site visit. Anybody have any questions on that? Pretty much what
You know, on this change order thing with the sidewalks, how do we ever make out on that with NICEAG? I wasn't here for that part of it.
a letter went out, a letter was signed today, it'll probably go out tomorrow to NICEAG requesting, payment for
How much are they responsible?
half of 486
Over
feet.
19,000.
486 feet is what we're looking for. Is there anything else on that? or-
No, you said 486 and a half. This says 4,500 feet.
Well, that 4,500, that's Water Street, that's
Oh,
Park
okay.
Ave, that's Stowe Street.
Half of what Park Avenue is.
We figured they, on the Park Ave, we figured they did 486 lot, or feet, and that's what we're requesting at Park Ave.
And that was just for that second line they put in,
Yeah.
the extra one they put in, that wasn't for
We
the-
talked about it the other meeting, but
Yeah.
the figures are different here than.
Yeah, that change order is for kind of moving forward. There was additional repair that we weren't really expecting, and just to make sure we have moving forward, we have enough quantity to use the rest of the project as well.
So basically, EFC said they were happy with the way things were going with the 5 Streets project, and didn't have any problems, and I think when we're 65% complete, they're gonna come back and do another evaluation.
Yep.
So, everything is moving okay there. Time for double play sports, turkey trot to come up again. I don't see any problem with that, do you, Randy, did you get a copy of that?
Yep, I'm aware of it.
So, basically, I guess we just let them know that everything's okay.
Chief, are you gonna get in the spirit and dress up as a turkey?
Probably not.
Darn. You didn't hear what Murphy said.
You're
So
afraid to
see
get
if you
shot.
might get shot.
You have anything new that we haven't talked about, Bill?
No,
I only have a couple of things, Christmas, I guess, must be just around the corner. I was walking through Walmart and seeing all kinds of decorations for sale. So our DPW guys checked out our main Christmas tree on the park, or that we light up. And the lights were left on it, and it looks like squirrels, chipmunks, something pretty much destroyed all the wires. So we need to, if we're gonna light it this year, we need to replace the lights. I've done a little looking for pricing, and I talked to the DPW that was up there checking things out, trying to get an idea. And I know, one light strand we were looking at was an LED, and they're like 57 foot long, and they figure we need 20 of those to do that tree. So we're probably looking at $400 worth of new lights. I guess my question is, we need permission from the board and go ahead and.
I'll make the motion. I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Then, my other question is, we got the house down there on the corner. Basically, we need to either button it up for the winter or something. The weather's getting, temperatures are dropping. If we don't rent it, we need to close it up for the
You
winter.
wanna put somebody in it, yeah.
Has to have somebody in there.
Somebody in there?
I said so.
You figured out what the fair market price would be, Joe?
Is it on the market
Yeah,
for
that'd
sale?
be 800.
No.
Someday, like,
Yeah.
come ask.
That's the next thing, if you guys wanna put it on the market, we can advertise it with the realtor that, did the appraisal, they get 6%. Or we could auction it off like we did the municipal building. But the first thing we gotta do before we can do either one of those is the board's gotta declare it surplus.
Let's get through the winter, let's rent it, and then in the spring we can determine what we wanna do. I just think you're pushing the envelope. We're so close to the winter season.
The only problem is the person that was interested in renting it, I don't believe is now, they found other,
Okay.
so.
I bet we can find somebody.
Yeah.
I bet you have somebody in there in a week if you put it out there. Matter of fact, I know somebody. I'll mention to them in the morning. Yeah, if that's what you want.
You said the old price for the previous owner's son was like 500, it was already, we bought it from him, so.
Plus utilities.
Right, I would say just, you sent out the prices with 7 sound, I hate to, the old issue I think you had was if we know somebody and all of a sudden, same thing was when we sell it, if we put it on the market and we negotiate with somebody, makes it look like, well, we cut a deal because we know somebody. So I would say set it the price and see what happens. Does 7 sound fair? Sounds too much? Okay, what is your pleasures?
I don't think it's bad for.
There's nothing fancy in that place, that's for sure.
So I don't,
We're not rather have a lot of money.
I was gonna say, I don't know, it's not the Jed Clampett mansion.
Next to me, the house that's a rental is $1,000 plus utility.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get 700 for a 2-bedroom apartment.
Correct.
I think 700 is pretty cheap. You're overpriced on your rent already.
You wanna go 900?
We can always go down, I guess. We can't, harder to go up than it is to go down. Yeah, unless you have a certain
But you're also looking at, you wanna get somebody in there ASAP too.
Right.
That's my concern.
And we're gonna put it on the market in the spring, so it might be a short-term rental.
I think what you-
Bed tax for that.
What about rent with an option?
No, it's more than 30 days, Tim. You didn't read that whole thing well enough.
We had talked about that before too.
Yeah, but that would seem to me would be somebody that really would want the house.
Yeah.
Good point.
You know, bump that up to 900, stick it at 700.
I think 7's fair.
7?
What do you think? Well, how are we gonna determine who gets it? First come, first serve, whoever answers the ad or whatever. Or bid it out?
Well, I mean, we'll have to, you gotta think, you gotta evaluate the potential.
Right.
If somebody comes in, you gotta make sure that they, can pay for it and all that
We
stuff.
want first
Well-
month security or last month?
What you do, when you want,
I did have a call a couple of months ago from a lady, and I can touch base with her, see if she's still interested, or she called in.
Do you think we should have upfront first month and last month security?
Yeah, that's what we did. We
Okay.
basically what we did with, even though we bought it from the other tenant, we had a month-to-month lease, regular lease drawn up, protect both them and village, and we also had security deposit up front. So. Okay, let's see what we can come up with on that. Good treasure, do you have anything? Chief of police, anything? Nope. Superintendent?
Nope.
Okay. We do have one one thing there, speaking of superintendent. When we did our budget this year, we put money in the budget for new dump trucks. And Paul and I have been kicking figures around on state contract for a new dump truck. And we've come up with what we'd like a new, and we couldn't get a 19, so we gotta go with a 20. 550 four-wheel drive dump truck that we could put a 9.5 foot plow on it. We figure we'll get more use out of it. And the only difference as far as the cab and chassis goes is it's like $10,000 difference between a F-350 like we have now, two-wheel drive, and we can jump to a 550, a heavier truck, and four-wheel drive for like $10,000 more. So basically the whole package, snowplow truck, dump box, it's gonna cost us on state contract, all three items are on state contract, it's gonna be $60,506. And basically we put the money in the budget for it, we might be short 8,500, somewhere around there. So I guess I'm just asking the board, is it all right with the board if we go ahead and place the order? It's gonna take us about 6 months by the time they configure get the truck gets shipped, they get the box put on it. They're telling us we're looking at 6 months before delivery. So we need to get it ordered.
Yes, sir, let her go.
Yeah.
Get her. Get her done.
Okay, capital and planning.
The only thing that, I guess it might be more under, the planning end is I would like to talk to Kathy about updating our, comprehensive plan. So that's something that down the road, as far as future planning goes, other than that, I don't have anything.
Anything on personnel?
No, sir.
I'll say just briefly, Charlie, I checked with both, Paul and Randy today, they didn't have any issues. I wanna go back though, we gotta move a little faster. What are we doing about a blower for the winter, snow blower?
We're still looking, basically.
They're not easy to come by.
The good news one you're looking at, $150,000.
Well, who did I tell you, Joe, last year had about 15 or 20 of them? All,
Oh, down at Herkimer.
yeah, I can't think, name eludes me of the business, but I was by there the other day and they still got 10 or 15 of them sitting there. So.
We may have to, I looked them up on the website, I'll have to look it back up. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of them down there. Like I said, I was by there earlier this week and they still had a ton of them there. And I'm guessing you don't want to sit on them all through winter. You probably might be able to get a door, but that may be temporary.
Which last year we were lucky we were able to borrow one.
And that might happen again this year too.
Well, I guess that leads me to the next question. Would it behoove us to not get one and work with somebody to use one?
It all depends on the weather in the winter. If you get a heavy winter, they're gonna be using theirs the state economy.
We'll want it when we need it. Yeah.
Anything on finance?
For the audits, Dan did the judges. I'm not gonna throw Wendy under the bus. Her and I couldn't find the, bank statement, so I'll be in tomorrow to do the last 2 months.
I don't have anything for the fire
Because
department.
both of us, neither one of us could find them, so I'm not gonna throw it on there.
And you know where they are, probably right in front of you, that happens to me all the time.
Anybody have it?
I have nothing for the fire department. Anybody have anything on the police department?
I don't believe so. He looks pretty happy.
Planning board, zoning board?
I wasn't at the last meeting, I just mentioned the comprehensive plan, I'll talk to her on.
Municipal board?
Next meeting is November 12th at 6 PM. Last meeting was short and sweet, that's it. See that? Very short.
Anything on the town?
New world's record.
No.
Yeah.
County?
I have nothing of interest.
Recreation?
We have some vacancies on the Recreation Commission. One of those vacancies I've talked to Cheryl Morrow and would like to appoint her to a 5-year appointment.
So that would be through
2023, you told me?
May 31st, 2023. Can we have a motion to appoint Cheryl Morrow to the rec commission?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any public comment?
What, I wanna digress a little bit, on the first page, property maintenance enforcement, I missed what you said, any comments on that? I was writing down about Tim Woodrick, gonna speak to the planning board next month, or 2 months from now.
That was on temporary permits.
That's on temporary, so that's what I'm talking about, property, that was right before, I was writing down some information, and you went to property,
Just spoke to the county attorney, he's talked to codes, and then they'll get back to Joe.
She's supposed to get back to me, she hasn't, my guess is she hasn't talked to codes yet, I'll follow up with her this week.
I just didn't hear that conversation. Thank you.
My turn. Thank you. What would it take to, on West State Street, to get that stop sign by the, park moved down 25 foot? Because nobody stops at the stop sign. I know for a fact, every day you see the same thing. Small cars can't see and they're pulling down probably 25 feet. Small SUVs, even dump trucks are pulling down past it about 25 foot and craning to look to see if everything's coming. And then when they get down and take a quick look, they start inching out. And we've had several accidents there in the past where cars have started out and then they don't see a vehicle coming down North State Street, and we've had accidents with that. Last week. What would it take to get it moved down 25 foot? Because that's where everybody's stopping anyway.
I think the issue is, it's just dangerous there, period. And it
Oh,
probably
yeah,
ought to be
it
a
is.
one-way street. But that would make the people that live on that short street happy. But if it ends up saving a life, it's very dangerous. My neck hurts from looking back and trying to see.
Yeah.
Since they redid it, it was a different angle or something,
Is that something you guys could look at, your recommendation?
I think there's a certain code where them signage has gotta be.
Because that's a state highway.
I don't think we can just put in there and change that, I think that's gotta be something to do with the state, where that signage goes.
How about we sit and talk about it? Figure out, I think he's right.
Yeah, I think you gotta make the request, you gotta make the request to DOT. The village board could make the request. Right.
I mean, it's something I wish it would do with it, because everybody does it. There's nobody that stops it where the stop sign is. You can't see. You just can't see.
I'm wondering if they'll stop at all.
Your local guy, Craig Ortliff, doesn't he run signs, or he works in signs at DOT? Doesn't he?
What's that?
Craig Ortliff? He's a sign guy at DOT,
Needed the parking.
You're talking about West State where you're coming down.
Coming down, right? The number 3 road coming down to that stop sign.
Village will request that to state DOT, because it's coming out onto the state highway, right?
Right.
I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do. Maybe that sign's in there. Maybe they're the ones who put the sign in on their right away.
And I guess one last thing, and kind of, it's at the 4 corners, the people pulling through the red light without coming to a stop and just blowing through it. I know I had a red car cut me off today, and it's a daily occurrence down there with people. Seems to be Dane Street seems to be the worst side of it, where they come down through and just blow right through the red light.
It's better than tractor trailer doing
Try
That's
walking
happened
or
too.
trying to cross the street there.
Well, I've always said that crosswalks are the most dangerous place in Lowville. And that's all I have.
Anybody else have anything?
Good job.
I guess we need anybody have anything for executive session? No, sir. Okay, I guess we need a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.